Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
A Lexington apartment building had to be evacuated last night, and now 3 are behind bars for multiple drug charges. Sheriff's deputies say they caught 2 men red-handed breaking into a Whitley County home. And with just a week before midterm elections, national political leaders descend on the bluegrass to campaign for their parties. These stories plus breaking news as it happens coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning to you and welcome in. I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Shaping up to be a pretty nice day out there. Pretty mild temperatures, not too cold. For the first track on the weather, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, we're looking outside and what we see is first alert offender. Well, it's kind of vague, but you can still see it out there in the dark. We'll be needing that today. There's live sky camera and there's your shot. Going in toward the afternoon, I think that's when we start to see those showers and thunderstorms take place as they roll through our neck of the woods. Temperatures are in the 60s this morning. It feels really, really good outside. It's really not all that bad. Today's forecast by the afternoon, 73. So we're back in the 70s, but showers and thunderstorms take over as that cold front comes blasting through. Say goodbye to those 70s because 50s and even 40s come flying in here for our overall highs in the next several days. And I'll show you that forecast coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Micah. We have some new information this morning on a breaking news alert we brought to you last night. What police say started as a report of an attempted burglary led to some tense moments at an apartment complex. Lexington police were called out to an apartment building on Malibu Drive just before 9 o'clock. Police arrested Stephanie Land, Lamine Brown, and Matthew Jarvis on multiple drug possession charges. Police worried they'd have a difficult time getting those people to come out of the apartment, so they treated it as a possible barricade situation. They also evacuated the apartment complex as a precaution. Deputies say they were caught red-handed. 2 men face charges this morning accused of breaking into a Whitley County home. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office arrested 28-year-old Wilkie Murray and 31-year-old Anthony Morgan. Deputies say they've also connected Murray to another crime. WKYT's Jerica Insko is tracking the investigation.
For the Whitley County Sheriff's Department, Monday started off on the right foot. That's because the sheriff says they caught 2 burglars here along Highway 904. Those arrests were Saturday. The Whitley County Sheriff saying they got a tip that 28-year-old Wilkie Murray and 31-year-old Anthony Morgan were breaking into a home.
They removed wire from these residents, like in this residential burglary here. They were in the process of removing the wire, copper wire, which they probably wouldn't get over $75 for it, but causing $1,000 worth of damage to it.
The sheriff says that they were caught in action and Murray tried to get away while Morgan resisted arrest. But for Murray, the sheriff tells us it's not his first rodeo of burglarizing homes. He was wanted and is now charged in connection to another in this same area back in August.
It was a home. They had removed several appliances, a couple of TVs.
Murray faces 9 charges combining Saturday's incident and the one back in August, which include 2 burglary charges, criminal mischief, and harassment. And Morgan is charged with resisting arrest, second-degree burglary, and menacing following Saturday's arrest.
It was a good day for the sheriff's office, a bad day for the bad guys.
The sheriff tells us that both men are from here in the Highway 904 area. In Whitley County, Jerica Insko, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Jerica. Both men are still being held at the Whitley County Detention Center. A former Franklin County teacher admits she had an inappropriate relationship with a student years ago. Carrie Staples Williams pleaded guilty to 2 counts of unlawful transaction with a minor. Investigators say in 2007 she had a relationship with a student at Franklin County High School where she taught. After graduation, investigators say the student told the Franklin County superintendent, but prosecutors say the school district didn't report it. Police say that student died recently and his mother found paper copies of emails between Williams and the student.
She had seen her son denied justice for so many times, and she wanted to make sure that Ms. Staples, now Williams, was finally brought to justice and held accountable for what she did.
Well, because of a 1-year statute of limitations, prosecutors couldn't go after the school district for failing to report the case. Williams will serve 5 years supervised probation. She surrendered her teacher's license. She resigned from Franklin County High School last week. A central Kentucky town is moving to deny a cable service transfer. City of Danville has approved an initial measure to deny the transfer from Time Warner Cable to Comcast. This according to Central Kentucky News. If the city ends up denying the transfer, the cable company and the city could end up in court. But city managers say he hopes an agreement can be reached over some non-compliancy issues that have come up. Police arrested a man after they say they found drugs, guns, and thousands of dollars in his home. State police charged 71-year-old Donald Howard with drug trafficking, evidence tampering, and receiving stolen property. Police say they searched Howard's home in the Bledsoe community of Harlan County Sunday night. Inside, they found nearly 2,000 prescription pills, multiple guns, and more than $15,000 in cash. A Lexington man accused of killing his brother with a truck says he's not guilty. William Watkins appeared in court Monday after police charged him with reckless homicide and DUI Sunday morning. Saturday night, witnesses say he got into an argument with his brother Brian and later hit him with a truck. After his hearing, Watkins' mother said she's having a hard time dealing with the death of one son and the arrest of the other.
I know Billy didn't mean to do it, but Billy loved Brian very much. He loved his family.
Farrow says Brian called Williams and told him he was suicidal, prompting him to drive over. But other family members told WKYT Brian beat up his brother and then left the house on Woodview Drive. The judge left Watkins' bond at more than $25,000, claiming he was a danger to others. Well, last night, Big Blue fans got another look at this year's talented UK basketball team. The annual Blue-White scrimmage gave Coach Cal and the Cats a chance to tune up their skills. Blue beat White 94-66. Kentucky's next time on the floor is this Sunday against Kelly Wells Pikeville Bears. Tip-off will be at 7 on the SEC network. There's some new information this morning on a UK cheerleader injured in a fall during the halftime of a game. We also know that the cheerleader was a sophomore named Mercedes Laster from London, Kentucky. She fell during a stunt at last night's game and was fitted with a neck brace before being wheeled off the court onto a stretcher. She's been released from the hospital and is doing all right. We have an update now on a former Lexington mayor who's been battling a life-threatening bacterial infection. Foster Pettit's son told our news partners at the Herald Leader his father's improving but has a long road to recovery ahead. We're told Pettit is still on a ventilator and feeding tube. Earlier this month, family members say Pettit contracted an infection when his fishing boat capsized in Louisiana and he got a cut on his leg. A Grammy award-winning singer joined Senator Mitch McConnell along the campaign trail yesterday. Lee Greenwood sang during stops in southern Kentucky as part of Senator McConnell's Kentucky Leads America bus tour. In Laurel County, Senator McConnell told supporters he thinks President Obama's administration is causing some small businesses to struggle. Senator McConnell says if the Senate becomes a Republican majority and he's named leader, Kentucky's interests will be at the forefront. Meanwhile, former Senator and former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be coming back to Kentucky to campaign for Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes. The two will appear together Saturday at events in Lexington and in northern Kentucky. Hillary Clinton also campaigned for Grimes in Louisville earlier this month. Yesterday, Grimes campaigned in Knox and Harlan counties. Last week, the latest Bluegrass poll showed Senator McConnell with a 1-point lead over Grimes. Well, with the election just a week from today, congressional candidates are getting ready as well. Last night, the candidates in the 6th District congressional race debated some of the biggest issues facing folks in central Kentucky. Incumbent Congressman Andy Barr and challenger Elizabeth Jensen met for a debate at the EKU Center for the Arts in Richmond. Among the issues that came up, the Affordable Care Act and minimum wage. WKYT's Sam Smith has the story.
Both Representative Andy Barr and his Democrat opponent Elizabeth Jensen spoke Monday night about why they should represent the 6th District. One key point the candidates spoke about: minimum wage.
I oppose raising the minimum wage. I support raising wages, and a better way to raise wages is through economic growth. We need to look at real solutions like the RAISE Act, which would allow members of a union to get a merit-based raise. The working families of America get a raise based on their merit and their performance.
One of the biggest challenges to the economy of in our state is that no one has any money to spend. And by increasing the minimum wage, it is the quickest way to get money in the hands of our hardworking families. And if families are earning a little bit more money, they're going to spend money in our community. They might buy a new car or eat out a few more times a month or go to the mall a little bit more, and they're going to spend money here in our community.
Both candidates also made sure voters know their stance on the Affordable Care Act.
And I'm glad that thanks to starting this process with the president, we have health care. We've stepped forward on something, and it's a good thing, and I'm proud to stand up for that.
Representative Barr is against the Affordable Care Act, but says he will not let that impact his duties in office.
I am ready to work with the president. I meet with the legislative liaison in the White House, and I'm willing and ready to work with the president in a bipartisan way.
WKYT political editor Bill Bryant moderated the debate. He says both candidates performed well.
You saw two different candidates who are aggressive but polite toward each other, and you got to see them answer a range of issues and talk about their different approaches they would take.
In Richmond, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Of course, Bill was a busy man last night. That's why he's sleeping in a little today, but he is expected in. If you would like to watch tonight's debate or last night's debate in its entirety, go to our website, WKYT.com. Look for our story on the debate there. Well, WKYT this morning is just getting started. Thanks so much for being here on this Tuesday. Moms may want to watch how they talk about their bodies in front of their daughters. Moms Every Day explains why after the break.
We are in the 60s outside this morning. It actually feels quite nice, but you know something's on the way when you see these temperatures. And something is, a big cold front. It's going to knock all this nice air on out of here. I'll show you how low we go with these numbers coming up next.